All right, let's dive into this. The Wealth Money Can't Buy by Robin Sharma.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've gotten so many requests from listeners to cover this one.
I know. It's been popular.
So popular. And it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He really does take this different approach.
Well, yeah.
It's 8 forms of wealth that go
Right.
way beyond your typical
Yeah.
financial advice.
It's not about getting rich.
No. And he writes in this
It's a richer life.
very, very personal way, like
Yeah.
offering mentorship
Totally.
right from his Italian farmhouse.
And he does kind of set it up like that, right?
Set-
Like these are letters that he's writing.
Mm-hmm. Guiding us toward this richer life.
Well, a mentee or something.
Exactly. And not just in our bank accounts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
Sharma starts off strong, encouraging us to honor our greatness.
It's interesting, too, because I feel like that's something that we hear a lot about these days.
Yes.
But he had this book out, I think, in 2009.
Yeah. So ahead of the curve a little bit.
Yeah, totally ahead of the curve.
So it's about recognizing our own value and striving for that heroic self,
Mm-hmm.
that best version of ourselves.
Which we all want.
Right. Who doesn't want to be their best self?
And he had such humble beginnings, you know.
Yeah. He talks about that, his journey
Yeah.
from really humble beginnings
Mm-hmm.
to becoming this successful author and speaker,
Right.
and it makes it feel achievable.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because sometimes with self-help,
Yeah.
you feel like the person writing it was just born amazing.
Right. Like they don't even know.
And they don't know what it's like to struggle.
Right.
But he's so open about the fact that he came from nothing.
That makes it feel relatable.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can do it. You can do it.
Exactly.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Of course not.
Sharma doesn't shy away from the tough stuff.
No.
He talks about this thing called the resentment stack.
No, yeah.
Have you ever felt weighed down by
Yeah.
past hurts or grudges?
This is very relatable.
Holding on to that negativity
Mm.
from past experiences.
Yeah.
Sharma argues that letting go is crucial.
It really is, I think. I mean, for everything.
Yeah.
I think about relationships, just your own mental health. Like if you're constantly reliving those negative experiences,
Right, yeah.
it's exhausting.
You carry it with you.
Right. And you know what's interesting? He quotes F. Scott Fitzgerald in The Great Gatsby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, this is the quote. Just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
It really puts it in perspective.
Mhm.
And it is. It's a call for empathy.
Right, because maybe they would have made different decisions if they had the same training.
Yeah, opportunities. Yeah.
And that weight
Mhm.
with those grudges.
It's huge.
Right. What could you be achieving
Totally.
if you weren't carrying that burden?
And you know,
It's hard, though.
it is.
It's so hard.
It is. And he gets into this. You know,
Yeah.
he really dives into how our identities are shaped by
Mhm.
these 5 forces.
Okay.
And he calls it PNAM.
Keenam.
Parents, experiences, neurology, assumptions, and mentors.
So he's saying all of these things
It's all of these things.
impact who we become as people.
Yeah, it's more than just a clever acronym.
Right.
Right. So think about it.
It's like a recipe.
Our parents' values,
Mm-hmm.
our early experiences, even the assumptions we pick up
Yeah, it's so true.
along the way.
Yeah.
All of these things weave together
Mm-hmm.
to make us who we are.
Right. And that's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is a little bit.
But sometimes you don't realize
Yeah,
where those things are coming from
exactly.
and how they're influencing you.
But what I think is really insightful here is
Mm-hmm.
how Sharma highlights the importance of self-awareness.
Yes.
By understanding these influences. We can make conscious choices about who we want to become.
I love that.
Yeah, it's about taking control of the narrative, not just letting life happen to us.
I feel like he's a big believer in taking action,
Yes, he is, and that ties in beautifully
like being proactive.
with his emphasis on action.
Yes.
He has this very simple yet powerful advice.
Mm.
The best way to start is to start.
Oh, I like that.
Right. We get bogged down in planning and overthinking.
So true.
Sometimes the best way to overcome procrastination is to just take that first step.
Yeah, I feel like especially in creative fields,
Oh, absolutely.
we can really get stuck
In our head.
in our heads,
Right.
just overthinking.
Yeah, and he uses this great analogy
Okay.
about the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay.
You know, building something that massive
Right.
must have seemed impossible at the time.
Yeah, how do you even start?
But they started with one stone,
Mm-hmm.
then another, and eventually created this wonder of the world.
It's like breaking it down into smaller steps, which is what you have to do with a lot of things in life.
It's the power of consistent effort over time.
Right.
Now, it wouldn't be a deep dive without some
Yeah.
counterintuitive advice,
Yeah,
right?
I love the counterintuitive advice.
So Sharma suggests we eat alone fairly often.
Oh, interesting.
Sounds strange.
Yeah.
Hear him out.
Okay.
He argues it builds confidence
Okay.
and encourages self-reflection. In our hyper-connected world,
Mm-hmm.
we rarely get true solitude.
Yeah, it's true.
We're constantly bombarded with distractions.
Constantly. Without those external stimuli
Yeah,
can be incredibly valuable.
I can see that.
It's like giving our minds a chance to breathe
Yeah.
and to reconnect with ourselves.
Yeah, but what about when we are with other people?
Yeah, that's important too.
Sharma dives into the power of positive expectations,
Interesting.
especially in relationships.
Okay.
He shares his amusing anecdote about a Swiss restaurant
Okay.
where he initially misjudged the owner based on appearances.
We've all done that.
Right, we all have.
Yeah.
But when he shifted his expectations
Okay.
and approached the owner with kindness,
Yeah.
he had a completely different experience.
Interesting.
And it highlights this Goethe quote.
Ooh, I love Goethe.
Treat people as if they were what they ought to be, and you help them become what they are capable of becoming.
That's so good.
Right. It's like saying our beliefs can actually influence how others behave.
Yeah.
If we expect the best from people,
Mm-hmm.
they're more likely to rise to the occasion.
So, like that whole thing, fake it till you make it,
Yes.
actually has some truth to it.
And that goes for ourselves, too.
Right.
You know, believing in our own capabilities is crucial
Totally.
for achieving our goals.
Yeah. I mean, think about, like,
Yeah.
if you go into a job interview thinking you're not going to get it,
Right.
you're probably not going to get it.
Your body language, everything.
Right, because you're not putting out that energy.
Exactly.
That you're confident and capable.
So we've got this idea of self-improvement,
Right.
letting go of resentment,
Mm-hmm.
understanding our influences,
Okay.
taking action,
Yeah.
approaching others with positive expectations.
Mm-hmm.
He packs a lot into these early chapters.
He does. He does.
What else stands out to you?
I think what stands out to me is
Yeah,
he's such a big proponent of journaling.
he is.
He outlines like 6 specific benefits of journaling.
Yeah, and he's not the only one.
Right. A lot of people are into this now.
Right, we're seeing that trend
Totally. Yeah.
of mindfulness and self-reflection.
But he lays out like
Mhm.
6 specific benefits.
Yeah, from clarifying your thinking
Mm-hmm.
to accelerating personal growth
Mm-hmm.
to deepening self-awareness, processing pain,
Mm.
even recording your life's journey.
Yeah.
And he even calls it
Oh, that's nice.
prayer on paper,
Oh.
a way to connect with something larger than yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this daunting task.
No, that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Even just a few minutes each day can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mini therapy session
Yeah.
for yourself.
And I think it's good, like, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts, just
Yeah.
to get them down on paper,
Get them out.
it really does help.
And speaking of the company we keep,
Yes.
Sharma has this great line,
Oh.
hang with clowns, expect a circus.
Ooh.
It's all about choosing your social circle wisely.
So important, yeah. I mean, I think that, as we get older,
Mm-hmm.
we realize more and more how important this is.
It's true, and he calls those energy-draining people energy vampires.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We've all encountered them.
We all know them. Yeah.
The people who just seem to
Suck the joy out of the room.
suck the joy out of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he argues that their negativity can be contagious.
Yeah, I think so too.
So surrounding yourself
All right.
with positive and supportive people
Mm-hmm.
who lift you up and inspire you
Yeah.
becomes crucial.
Yeah, it's like building a team
Mm-hmm.
for your own personal growth.
And just as important as who you let in is who you let go of.
Yes.
Sometimes releasing toxic relationships,
Mm-hmm.
even if they're long-standing.
It's hard.
It's hard.
But sometimes it's necessary.
Can be an act of self-care
It is.
because it creates space for healthier,
Yes.
more fulfilling connections to emerge.
Yeah, totally.
So we're honoring our greatness,
Mm-hmm.
taking action,
Yeah.
choosing our company wisely,
Right.
and journaling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Sharma's giving us a toolkit
He is.
for building a better life.
That's a good way to look at it.
And that toolkit also includes finding that sweet spot between self-care and pushing ourselves to achieve our goals.
Okay, so we're not just being lazy.
Right. He cautions against letting self-care
Right.
become an excuse for complacency.
Yeah.
It's not about choosing one or the other.
Right.
It's finding that balance.
It's like the athlete who needs rest days.
He used that analogy, yeah.
Right. But also needs to push themselves
Yes.
in training.
Who needs rest and recovery,
Yeah.
but also needs to push themselves during training
To get better.
to improve. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we find that balance in our own lives?
It's hard, I think.
It is.
I mean, maybe it's scheduling time for things that recharge you,
Yeah.
setting boundaries
Yes.
to protect your energy.
Being mindful of your needs and your limits.
Yeah.
And then there's this idea of saying yes to life,
Oh, yeah.
embracing new experiences.
I like that.
He shares this inspiring story
Huh.
about
Yeah.
an elderly speaker
Mm-hmm.
who still enthusiastically
Wow.
accepts every opportunity that comes his way. It's like he's saying, don't let age or fear hold you back
I love that.
from living a full life.
Yeah.
So what's one thing outside of your comfort zone
Oh, good question.
that you could say yes to today?
I don't know, maybe I should try that new restaurant that opened up.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Something small, right?
But I've been a little scared to.
Yeah, but it could be something bigger,
Mm-hmm.
like pursuing a long-held dream.
Yeah, there you go.
It's about stepping outside of that comfortable routine,
Right.
seeing what happens.
I like that.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground,
A lot of ground, yeah.
but we can't forget about the foundation of it all, our health.
The foundation, yeah.
Sharma is adamant about prioritizing our health,
Right.
not just physically, but mentally,
Of course.
emotionally,
Yeah.
and spiritually.
Yeah. It all works together.
He tells this story
Okay.
about a billionaire who regretted neglecting his health
Mm-hmm.
in the pursuit of wealth.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a reminder that you can't buy back your well-being.
Yeah. And I think, especially like in the U.S.,
Yeah.
we have this tendency to
Work.
work,
Yeah.
work. And then we get to a point where we're like,
Yeah, we burn out.
wait, I haven't had a vacation in 5 years.
It's like that saying,
Yeah.
health is wealth.
It's true.
It really is. And it's
Yeah.
a holistic concept.
Mm-hmm.
Our physical, mental, and emotional states
Yeah.
are all interconnected.
You can't separate them.
So how do we make those conscious choices
Mm-hmm.
to support our overall well-being?
I think it's,
Yeah.
it's different for everyone,
It is.
but being mindful of
Yeah.
how much sleep you're getting,
Absolutely.
how much you're moving your body.
Incorporating more movement,
Yeah.
practicing mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with loved ones,
Spending time with people you love.
exploring your spirituality.
Right. And not just the things that you think are good for you.
Right.
Like, eating kale.
Yeah.
That's also things that
That bring you joy.
bring you joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And make you feel good.
And speaking of things that work,
Okay.
Sharma is a big believer in the power of nature.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about the benefits of
Of being outside.
forest bathing,
Yeah.
the Japanese practice of
I love that phrase.
spending time in nature
Yeah.
to reduce stress and improve mental clarity.
I mean, it makes so much sense.
Right. And there's a growing body of scientific evidence
Right.
supporting this.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that spending time in nature can lower blood pressure,
Mm.
reduce stress hormones,
It's so calming.
boost the immune system,
Yeah.
even improve mood and cognitive function.
It's like it resets your brain.
It's like nature is our natural medicine.
Totally.
Right. And it's readily available to most of us.
It is.
Even just a short walk in the park
Mm-hmm.
or spending time in your backyard
Yeah. And gardening.
can have a positive impact.
Totally.
So when was the last time you truly immersed yourself in nature?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a powerful reminder
Yeah.
to disconnect from the digital world
Mm-hmm.
and reconnect with the natural world.
Yeah. Get out of your head.
Right.
Get into your body.
Exactly.
And into nature.
And speaking of reconnecting,
Okay.
Sharma also emphasizes the importance of family
Oh, yeah.
and building strong relationships.
Family is important.
He tells this
Mm-hmm.
touching story
Okay.
about a love account.
I love it, Kim.
He suggests that we make small, consistent deposits of affection and appreciation
I love that.
into our relationships.
It's like you're investing.
Right. It's like we're investing in our loved ones.
Yeah.
Not with money,
Mm-hmm.
but with love and attention.
I like that a lot.
He emphasizes that strong family relationships
Yeah.
are a form of wealth that money can't buy,
It's true.
providing a sense of belonging.
And in our individualistic society,
Yeah.
we really need that.
Yeah, we do. Love and support.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up
Hmm?
in our busy lives
And just focus on ourselves
and just focus on ourselves.
and our careers.
Yeah, and our own personal growth.
Yeah.
But he's reminding us that these connections are so important. So how do we create that richer family life?
I think just spending time together.
Yeah, spending time together.
Maybe it's having dinner together.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just once a week.
Put the phones away.
Put the phones away. Yeah.
No distractions.
Right.
Be present.
And just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, it's about those little moments, those everyday interactions that really build those strong bonds.
It's true.
Sharma then shifts gears a little bit.
Okay.
And he talks about finding purpose and meaning in our work.
I think that's something a lot of people are struggling with.
Oh, I think so.
Especially now.
Yeah, and he views it as a platform for expressing our creativity and making a contribution to the world. And he tells this really heartwarming story about a nun who sings with passion and devotion in an empty church.
Oh, wow.
Highlighting that fulfillment comes from the work itself, regardless of external recognition.
Right, she's not doing it for the applause.
No, she's doing it because she loves it.
She loves it.
It's her purpose. It's like she's saying, find the joy in what you do, even if no one else is watching.
I like that.
And he encourages us to approach our work as a craft.
Okay.
You know, striving for excellence.
Yeah.
And finding meaning in the act of creation.
I mean, it's so easy to just go through the motions, you know?
Oh, it is, especially if you're not feeling fulfilled in your work.
But I think if you can find some way to be creative.
To bring something.
Even if it's just a small thing.
Of yourself to it.
To make it your own.
So how do we bring that sense of purpose and craftsmanship to our own work?
Maybe it's setting challenging goals.
Yeah.
Or finding ways to,
you
know, take on new responsibilities that allow you to be more creative.
Or maybe just taking a step back.
Right.
And appreciating the work that you're already doing.
Yeah, and seeing it through a different lens.
And speaking of unique talents,
Okay.
Sharma is a big advocate for originality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he encourages us to embrace our unique strengths.
I think that's so important.
And avoid falling into the trap of simply copying others.
Yeah, you can't just do what everyone else is doing and expect to stand out.
And he uses this analogy about the music industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there are so many artists
who
are just trying to sound
like someone else.
Yeah. And they get lost in the noise.
And they don't end up being successful.
So he's saying, be true to yourself. Express your individuality. Find your own voice.
And I think, you know, in the age of social media,
oh, yeah,
it's so easy to get caught up in
comparing ourselves to others.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so toxic.
Right, and it's not authentic.
It's authentic.
So what makes you unique? What are your strengths? What are your passions?
Oh, that's a big question.
Big question.
But it's one we should all be asking ourselves.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing process, right?
Right.
We're always evolving.
Yeah, and discovering new things about ourselves.
And our strengths might change over time.
Totally.
What we're passionate about might change. It's about being open to that journey of self-discovery.
And being kind to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along the way.
It's okay to not have all the answers.
Right, and it's okay to change your mind.
Now, all of this takes time.
Yeah, it does.
And Sharma emphasizes the importance of patience and having a long-term vision.
Which is hard in our instant gratification society.
It is. He uses the analogy of the Duomo in Florence.
Okay.
Which took over 600 years to build.
Wow.
As a metaphor for the power of consistent effort over time.
I mean, can you imagine?
That's some serious patience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many people worked on that.
Over how many generations?
Over how many generations?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And that's what it takes to build something truly great.
Yeah. It's a reminder that meaningful achievements rarely happen overnight.
Right.
And that sometimes you know, we're working on things that we might not even see the fruits of. In our lifetime, yeah.
Wow.
So how do we cultivate that patience?
Yeah, that's the question.
The world of instant gratification.
Yeah.
Maybe it's breaking down our goals into smaller steps, celebrating our progress along the way, finding ways to stay motivated during those inevitable
because there are going to be times when you want to give up.
Moments of doubt, frustration. You know, it's about trusting the process.
Totally.
Knowing that those small steps are leading us towards something bigger.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while we're being patient, we also need to be constantly learning and growing.
Yeah.
Sharma is a lifelong learner himself.
Yeah. I think you can tell from
Yes.
his writing.
And he believes it's essential for success in a rapidly changing world.
Absolutely.
He even declared,
What's he say?
learning is your superpower.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having a growth mindset,
Yeah.
embracing new information, and constantly seeking ways to expand our knowledge and skills.
Because the world is changing so quickly?
Yeah, what we know today might be obsolete tomorrow.
It's true.
So we have to be constantly adapting.
And the people who are willing to learn are the ones who are going to thrive.
And it doesn't have to be about formal education.
Right.
It can be as simple as reading books, listening to podcasts.
Having conversations.
Having conversations.
Yeah, with interesting people.
With people who have different perspectives. It's about staying curious.
Totally.
And engaged with the world around us.
Because the world is fascinating.
It is. It's a fascinating place.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground
I have.
in this first part of...
our deep dive into the wealth money can't buy and picking up where we left off.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on another one of Sharma's concepts that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's called deseeding the lemon wedges.
Ooh, I love this one.
It's so good, right?
It's such a great metaphor.
Yeah. He uses this metaphor to illustrate going above and beyond, even in the smallest details.
He talks about this hotel worker.
Yeah.
Who carefully removes the seeds.
From the lemon wedges.
From the lemon wedges for the tea.
Right. Like,
ensuring this perfect experience for the guest.
Yeah, like who would even notice that?
Right. It's about that attention to detail.
It is.
And it might seem like a tiny thing.
Right.
But it speaks volumes about the worker's commitment to excellence.
Right. And also their respect for the guest. Like they're not just...
Not just phoning it in.
Right. They're not just like, here's your lemons.
Right. They're really thinking about...
They want you to have a good experience.
The experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about being a master of your craft. Taking pride in what you do.
Yeah.
And exceeding expectations.
I like that a lot.
And he encourages us to apply this, not just to our work, right?
Right, to all areas of your life.
To all areas of our lives.
Yeah.
Our relationships, our personal growth.
I mean, even just like making your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like...
Setting the tone.
Yeah, it just makes you feel good.
For the day.
Yeah.
So it's not about grand gestures.
Right.
It's about those small, consistent actions that demonstrate care and attention to detail.
Yeah.
It makes me think about...
How can we de-seed our own lemon wedges?
How can I de-seed my own lemon wedges?
Right.
You know, in my daily interactions.
Oh,
and maybe it's taking the time to really listen to a friend.
Yeah.
Or sending a thoughtful thank you note.
I love thank you notes.
Right.
No one writes thank you notes anymore.
Or going the extra mile on a project at work.
And it doesn't have to be a big thing.
Right. It's those little things.
It can just be like proofreading something one more time.
Exactly.
Before you send it.
It's those little things.
Or showing up 5 minutes early to a meeting.
It shows respect.
It does.
In the other people's time.
Totally.
Right.
And it makes you look good.
It does. And it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it, too.
Totally.
It's not just about making other people feel good.
It's about making yourself feel good.
It's about that sense of pride in your work. Sharma also talks about the importance of finding a mentor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, someone who can guide us.
I think mentors are so important.
Support us, challenge us.
Especially when you're first starting out in your career or...
in any area of life.
Yeah.
To reach our full potential.
Yeah, it's like having someone who's been there before to show you the ropes.
And to believe in you. Even when you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And he even suggests...
What's he suggest?
This creating of a dead board of directors.
A dead board of directors.
By studying the lives and work of great thinkers and leaders from the past.
So like learning from people who are no longer with us.
Yeah, like your own personal Hall of Fame.
Right, your mentors.
Yeah.
Who can't actually give you advice anymore.
Right, but you could still learn.
But you can still learn from their examples.
From their stories.
Yeah.
And their wisdom.
So who would be on your dead board of directors?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mine would definitely have Oprah on it.
Okay. Oprah's a good one.
Yeah.
I think I would have to have Maya Angelou.
Oh, Maya Angelou, yeah.
On there.
Such a wise woman.
Such a wise, powerful woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because he reminds us that we can access this wisdom and inspiration from books,
Books are amazing.
biographies, even historical accounts.
Right. It's all there.
Yeah, it's like tapping into this well of knowledge and experience that can help us navigate the challenges and opportunities of our own lives.
It's like they've already gone through it.
Right.
And you can learn from their mistakes.
And their triumphs.
Yeah.
And while we're learning from the past, we also need to be mindful of the present.
Yes.
And Sharma reminds us
Of what?
of the importance of cultivating
Oh, yeah.
a positive mindset.
That's so huge.
He believes we have this natural negativity bias.
Oh, totally. Right.
Like we're programmed to...
Focusing more on what's wrong than what's right.
Yeah, like focus on the negative.
Yeah, it's like a survival mechanism from our caveman days.
Yeah. We had to be aware of the dangers.
Right. But he offers several practices
like this.
to combat this negativity and build a more positive outlook. One of those practices is writing a "how could this be worse" paragraph in our journal.
How could this be worse?
So it sounds counterintuitive.
It does.
But by imagining how a situation could be even worse, we can gain perspective.
I see.
And appreciate the positive aspects.
Right, like, oh, this isn't so bad after all.
Of our current reality.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like a reverse gratitude practice.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
So think about something that's stressing you out right now.
Okay, I'm stressed about this presentation I have to give. Okay, so how could it be worse?
Well, I could forget my laptop.
Okay, there you go.
Or the projector could break.
Right.
Or I could trip and fall on my way up to the stage.
Or the fire alarm could go off.
Oh, my God.
See, and suddenly, just giving the presentation.
Yeah, doesn't seem so bad.
Doesn't seem so bad.
Okay, like that.
He also emphasizes the importance of savoring. Positive experiences.
Yeah.
This means slowing down. Paying attention to the details. Fully immersing ourselves in those moments of joy. Gratitude or appreciation.
Yeah, like really being present.
Being present in the moment.
Right. It's about really soaking in those good feelings rather than letting them slip by unnoticed.
Yeah. I think we're so used to just...
rushing through our days.
Rushing and just checking things off our to-do list.
Exactly.
We don't stop and smell the roses.
So how often do you think you do that?
Not enough.
Not enough, right.
But Sharma's encouraging us to be more mindful, to pause, and truly appreciate the beauty and abundance in our lives.
And it's a practice. It's not something that
happens overnight.
You just automatically do.
It takes practice.
Right.
He also encourages us to improve our self-talk.
Oh,
I often speak to ourselves in ways we never speak to anyone else.
It's true. We're so mean to ourselves.
Right.
Way meaner than we would ever be to anyone else.
They don't even realize we're doing it sometimes.
Right. It's like that inner critic.
With that inner critic.
It's just constantly putting us down.
So he's suggesting that we become more mindful of those inner dialogues and replace that negative self-talk with positive affirmation.
Right. Like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm good enough.
And encouragement.
Yeah. Be your own best
friend. Be your own best cheerleader.
Exactly.
And finally, he highlights the power of gratitude.
Oh, gratitude is huge.
Taking time each day to appreciate the good things in our lives.
Yeah.
Big and small.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
It's not just the big things, it's also the little things.
Like, your morning coffee.
Yeah.
A warm, sunny day.
That first sip of coffee.
The smell of freshly cut grass.
Oh my God, the best.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so much to be grateful for.
Totally.
And it can really shift our focus from negativity to positivity.
It's like a muscle.
And increase our overall sense of well-being.
Yeah. The more you practice it, the easier it gets.
And that ties in beautifully with this next concept. Sharma circles back to money.
Right, because...
acknowledging its importance while cautioning against prioritizing it above all else.
It's a tool.
He shares a poignant story. About a billionaire who lived alone in a mansion.
Oh, wow.
Highlighting the emptiness.
Yeah, I think we've all seen that.
That can come from prioritizing material possessions over genuine connection and fulfillment.
It's like all that money, but no one to share it with.
And no one to share it with,
And no joy.
So it's a reminder that money can't buy happiness.
Right.
But it can certainly make life more comfortable.
Of course, of course.
And provide opportunities to pursue our passions.
Yeah, it can give you freedom.
And make a difference in the world.
Totally.
So it's about using money
as
a tool for good.
Yeah.
As a means to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
I like that.
Both for yourself and others.
I feel like a lot of people, they think money is going to solve all their problems.
Oh, yeah.
But it really doesn't.
But it doesn't.
It can actually create more problems.
It can, yeah, if you're not careful.
Yeah, if you're not mindful of how you're using it.
So it's about finding that balance between financial security and pursuing those other forms of wealth that bring true happiness and fulfillment.
And aligning your spending with your values.
Yes.
Don't spend money on things that don't matter to you.
Right.
Spend money on experiences.
Yeah.
Spend money on
things that bring you joy.
Yeah, things that are going to enrich your life.
Right, and things that are going to support your growth.
Your growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about creating a life that is rich in experiences, relationships, and purpose.
And that leads us to the final form of wealth that Sharma talks about, service.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, he talks about the fulfillment that comes from contributing to something larger than yourself and making a positive difference in the world.
And he highlights this concept of self-transcendence.
Self-transcendence, moving beyond personal fulfillment to a sense of purpose.
So it's not just about you.
And connection.
It's about something bigger.
To something greater.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people are craving.
Oh, I think so. That's why
they want to feel like their life has meaning.
Yeah, like they're part of something bigger.
And that they're making a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
Right.
And that our actions have ripple effects that extend beyond ourselves.
I love that, the ripple effect.
And he believes that altruism, acts of kindness and generosity, not only benefit others.
It makes you feel good, too.
Right.
Yeah.
But bring a sense of joy, a purpose and meaning to our own lives.
I think about, when you volunteer, you always get more out of it.
Than you give. And he even uses this phrase.
What's the phrase?
Being good is good business.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Highlighting that kindness, generosity, and integrity.
Yeah, those are good qualities.
Are not just moral values, but also smart business practices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reminder that doing good can actually be good for us, too.
Yeah, and I think, businesses are realizing.
Oh, yeah.
More and more.
Yeah, consumers care about these things.
Yeah, they want to support.
They want to know what companies stand for.
That are doing good in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes me think about the different ways that I can contribute to my community.
Yeah.
Make a positive impact on the world.
Like, what are some things you do?
Well, I volunteer at the local animal shelter.
Oh.
I try to support local businesses as much as possible.
It's important.
Yeah. I try to be mindful of my environmental footprint.
It's those little things that add up.
And I think it's important to remember that. You don't have to be a millionaire.
To make a difference.
Or start a foundation.
Right. You can make a difference in your own little corner of the world.
Yeah. And it's those small acts that really add up.
Yeah. It's about finding ways to give back. No matter how big or small. And experiencing the fulfillment.
Right.
That comes from making a difference.
Because it does make you feel good.
It does.
It's like that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it reminds you that you're part of something bigger.
And that brings us back to the 8 forms of wealth that Sharma outlines in the book.
Let's recap.
Each representing a different facet of a truly rich life.
So we've got personal mastery.
Yes.
Which is like your inner world.
Cultivating our inner world, developing our skills, striving for excellence. Right.
Second is health.
Health.
The foundation.
So important.
Right, of a vibrant and fulfilling life.
It's like if you don't have your health.
You don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
It's about taking care of ourselves. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Right, the whole package.
Third is family.
Family.
The cornerstone of love, connection, and support.
What people.
Nurturing those bonds with our loved ones.
Yeah.
And creating a strong sense of belonging.
Yeah, like you belong somewhere.
Fourth is craft.
Yes.
Finding purpose and meaning in our work.
Yeah.
Viewing it as a platform.
Right.
For expressing our creativity.
And making a contribution.
Yeah. Fifth is money.
Money.
An important tool.
It is a tool.
But we must remember to prioritize it appropriately.
Yeah, don't let it rule your life.
Right.
It's a means to an end.
6th is community.
Community.
Building a network of positive relationships that enrich our lives.
And support our growth.
Yeah. 7th is adventure.
Ooh, adventure.
Embraced in new experiences.
Yeah.
Exploring the world.
Yeah, out there.
Continuously seeking novelty and excitement.
Yeah, like travel.
And finally, service. About giving back.
Yeah.
Contributing to something larger.
Yeah.
Making a positive difference.
Yeah, and it all ties together.
And Sharma emphasizes that these 8 forms of wealth are interconnected, each contributing to a holistic sense of fulfillment and well-being.
Yeah.
So it's not about achieving perfection in every area.
No, of course not.
But rather about finding that balance.
Yeah.
And prioritizing what truly matters to us.
And what matters to you might be different than what matters to me.
Absolutely.
Which is okay.
And the beautiful thing
What's the beautiful thing?
That these forms of wealth are accessible to everyone.
Yes, I love that.
Regardless of their financial circumstances.
Because sometimes people think that you need to be rich.
To be happy.
To have a good life.
To live a fulfilling life.
Yeah, that's not true.
And he's really challenging that belief.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our focus from external measures of success.
Like what?
Like money and possessions.
Yeah. Those are the things that society tells us.
To those internal qualities and experiences that bring true happiness and fulfillment.
It's an inside job.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's about who you are, how you treat others, and how you show up in the world.
I like that.
Yeah. So before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to share one final provocative thought.
Oh, I love these.
From the book.
Okay, hit me.
That really resonated with me. Sharma talks about the idea of a living funeral.
A living funeral.
A living funeral.
That sounds intense.
It does sound a little intense.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little morbid at first.
Okay.
But it's actually a really powerful exercise.
Okay.
In self-reflection.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Sharma suggests that we imagine our own funeral.
Okay. Okay.
Considering what we'd want people to say about us.
Oh, interesting.
What we want to be remembered for.
I see.
What legacy we'd like to leave behind.
So it's like looking back on your life from the perspective of
the end.
Yeah, the end.
Right.
Yeah, that is intense.
And it kind of forces us to confront our own mortality.
Yeah, no one wants to think about that.
But it really makes you think about what truly matters in the grand scheme of things.
What's your legacy going to be?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's about clarifying our values, identifying our priorities, and living in a way that aligns with those aspirations.
So if you were to have a living funeral today.
Oh, that's a good question.
What would you want people to say about you?
I think I would want people to say that I was that I was compassionate. That I made a difference, however small.
I like that.
In the world.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What about you?
I think I would want people to say that I was curious.
Okay.
And that
That you never stop learning.
Yeah, and that I inspired them.
I love that.
To be curious too.
It's a powerful question to ponder.
It is.
And it might just inspire us to make some changes in our lives.
Yeah, to make sure.
Yeah, to ensure that we're living in a way that honors our values and aspirations.
It's like a wake-up call.
It is. I think that's a perfect place to pause and reflect.
Okay.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some of Sharma's practical advice for cultivating these 8 forms of wealth.
I'm excited.
And creating a life of true abundance and meaning. Stay tuned. Yeah, that living funeral thing really makes you think.
It does.
About what really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Sharma's really good at bringing in those bigger questions, but then also giving you...
Yeah, the practical stuff.
Really practical advice.
Right, he doesn't just tell you.
Right, he doesn't just say...
To be more grateful.
Be more present.
Right.
He gives you specific tools.
Exactly.
Like that grateful as a money printer.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
It's so good.
And it's catchy.
It is catchy.
Right.
Yeah.
And it ties into this idea that our thoughts can shape our reality.
Totally.
You know?
Our beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies.
If we focus on abundance and gratitude, we're more likely to attract those things.
It's a law of attraction.
Into our lives.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just leave it at that.
Right.
You know?
It's not just woo.
He balances it.
Right.
with the importance of building solid habits. He points out that many financially successful people aren't necessarily geniuses.
They're not like super smart.
They just have excellent routines.
Right. They're just disciplined.
And are incredibly disciplined. He talks about managing time effectively. Yeah. Making wise investments. Taking calculated risks.
Right.
It's like a blueprint.
Yeah. It's not rocket science.
For success. It's
not just the financial kind.
Having good habits.
Right.
And sticking to them.
And then he emphasizes the importance of persistence.
Oh.
So important. Success is rarely a straight line.
It's not.
There are going to be setbacks.
Yeah, you're going to have failures.
Challenges.
Yeah.
But it's our ability to bounce back.
Pick yourself up.
Learn from those experiences.
Dust yourself off.
And keep moving forward.
Yeah.
That ultimately determines our success.
I think that's the difference between people who are successful and people who aren't. It's that grit and resilience.
That's the grit.
That never give up attitude.
Yeah, you have to have that.
And even when we achieve a certain level of success.
Right, it doesn't stop there.
Sharma cautions against complacency. He uses that analogy of the athlete who wins a championship.
Right.
And then slacks off on their training.
Right, they get lazy.
It's like reaching a goal isn't the end. Yeah. It's just the beginning.
It's the beginning of a new chapter.
Of the new chapter.
Yeah.
We have to keep challenging ourselves, striving for that next level of growth.
It's like a staircase.
And as we're growing, it's crucial to have a support system.
Totally.
Sharma talks about the importance of finding a mentor.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this before.
Someone who can guide us.
Yeah.
Challenge us.
And sometimes
help us see our blind spots.
They can see things that we can't.
Right.
Yeah.
And he even suggests we create a dead board of directors.
Right. I love that.
By studying the lives and work of great thinkers and leaders from the past.
It's like having a team of advisors.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
We can access this wisdom and inspiration even from those who are no longer physically present.
Like they live on.
Through their work.
Through their work. Yes.
Through their words.
It's powerful.
It's like tapping into a collective wisdom that transcends time.
Yeah, I love that.
And speaking of transcendence, Sharma circles back to this idea of giving back.
Oh, yeah. Service.
Making a positive impact on the world.
Making a difference.
He believes that kindness, generosity, integrity aren't just moral values, but also
smart business practices.
Smart business practices.
Yeah.
Being good is good business.
I like that.
It's a reminder that doing good is not just about feeling good.
It's about
creating a more positive, ethical world.
Yeah, and I think, people are starting to
realize that.
Yeah. It's not just about
the bottom line.
Yeah, the bottom line.
It's about making a difference.
Yeah, like leaving the world a better place than you found it.
And that can take many forms.
Right.
Philanthropy, volunteering, simply being more mindful of our actions.
Yeah.
How they impact others.
I think it's the little things.
Sharma reminds us, even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect.
Totally.
Creating a more positive and compassionate world.
So what small act of kindness?
Yeah. What can we do today?
Can you do today?
Yeah, to make someone's day a little bit brighter.
It could be as simple as smiling at a stranger.
Holding the door open for someone.
Yeah, or letting someone go ahead of you in line.
Right, it's those little things. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the wealth money can't buy.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts?
I think this book is such a good reminder that true wealth is about so much more than just money.
It's about living a life of purpose, meaning,
and fulfillment. It's about investing in ourselves, nurturing our relationships, finding joy in our work.
Embracing new experiences. Contributing to a better world.
It's a journey that's open to all of us.
Yeah, and his message is ultimately one of hope and empowerment.
Totally.
He reminds us that we have the power to create a life of abundance and meaning.
And
that true wealth is within our grasp if we're willing to
do the work.
Embrace these principles and commit to the journey.
Yeah.
So as you go about your day, ask yourself, What small step can you take to cultivate one of these forms of wealth in your own life?
Maybe it's
calling a friend.
Yeah, or writing in your journal.
Right, or just taking a few minutes to appreciate the beauty around you.
The little things.
Remember, true wealth is not about...
It's not about what you have.
But about who you are.
Yeah.
And how you choose to live.
I like that.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
On this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We hope you found it as enriching and insightful as we have.